Hello, welcome back to my channel. Last time, in my first video, I talked everyone through my 2020 journal, which is in this Marjolaine Delhaas really nicely designed journal with a number on each page. And a lot of people reached out to me about getting this journal, or if there are other journals that had numbered pages like this. And so I decided to make a video to show everyone that you can do this on any journal. You can add your own numbers that look just as nice, whether or not you get your hands on this one. As much as I love this journal, the other thing that's great about doing it for yourself is that you can take any journal of whatever size. It doesn't have to be so long and heavy to carry around, and you can just number up until the back. So you can really customize everything, and you can even do it just by dates or page numbers. Without further ado, let's get going. The first way that you can go about adding numbers to your journal is just to draw them in. I'm actually going to be tracing them in, but you can also do it freehand, and I'll give a couple examples of that. But to start, I recommend you get some test paper, some scrap paper that's roughly the same texture as the pages of the book that you're going to be writing in. That way you can kind of practice exactly how it's going to be from test to going. You can see how this number is just coming through. So I'm just gonna take my pen and super simple I'm just gonna trace it. By testing out different pens, maybe I could try this one for number 2. Alright, let's test it out. Okay, so this one had way less bleed through than the marker I used in number 1. So really go test out your markers beforehand and see which ones are best for your paper weight. Also, note that you don't want to close your book until the marker is completely dry, or else you might get marks like these. Another would just be to practice and do freehand. So this is actually really fun, and there's nothing wrong with it being different every single day. So if you want a nice blocky sans serif one day, maybe the next day you want some funky italic. This is the one with most flexibility, of course. And who's to say you couldn't do one of these methods every day and just try what you like and have a journal that's really eccentric and fun and playful. And this is another great thing for people that love typography. If you are just browsing and trying to find new fonts, it would be great to do a font a day. So you could go and look up different ones that you want to try out and just copy them into your book. And say you're feeling Helvetica one day, you could do that, and then the next day look up something way like sillier, like a dingbat or who knows what, and it can just become sort of your own type specimen book. The next way to number your journal is with stickers. It's a great option. I unfortunately don't have any stickers around the house, but there are many options on Amazon, or if you're not a fan of supporting Amazon, they're on any craft store website or in store, and there are even some on Etsy that you can buy in all different types, fonts, colors, sizes, you name it. The only thing is you should definitely make sure that you're buying ones that do have numbers in them, because a lot of the alphabet packs look like they might, and then they actually don't. So be careful there, but otherwise a great way to number your journal, and they're super quick to put in. The third way to number your journal is to actually stamp in the numbers. So you can actually find on the internet or in stores a lot of cute numbers and of different sizes that you can use, but I decided to make these myself so I could use the font that I liked most. I use lino sheets. This one was from a store called Blick, but you can find them in Michael's or any other craft store. Then you have a carving tool, and you can make any logo, design, stamp you want and cut them out to your size. These are mine. I used a fun Sera font. And a lot of times people will super glue these onto like a wood block or something, like you see those professional stamps. I haven't gone that far yet. I just wanted something that was easy to store so I could do it whenever I wanted, and now I have these fun little stamps. Drop a note in the comments section if you want me to make a whole video just on cutting these stamps or using lino cut. It's really fun, really easy, not expensive, and a great way to customize anything that you're making. I've skipped to page 11 so we can get optimal stamping. I'm gonna get a heavy stamp here. This is where you see how the wood block would benefit. But I just see when there's plenty of ink on there, and I'm gonna start on the right. Stamp it on. Voila. And you see that I cut them out backwards, and I could show you how to prepare for that beforehand, but that way they stamp on in the right direction. And then on goes number 2. A bit far apart, but I'll get better with practice as we go, so maybe I'll try out another page. This ink is just a regular stamp block. A lot of lino cutters use like a roller and ink. I think that would be a bit too much work for a journal, so stamp block works just fine. So I'll do number 12 next. Oh yeah, getting there. I think I'm definitely overestimating how far apart it is, but let's just do the next few pages. And there we go. This way it does look super crafty. Definitely that DIY homemade kind of look, but I think they're cute, and I would love to have a full book of those. So that's way number 3. Let's move on to the next way. The next way to number your journal pages is by using a label maker. There are lots of different label makers, and they all have different fonts and capabilities as far as the band size that you can fit in, but they offer a lot of different customizations, such as italics. They've got different fonts with some with serif, some without. They've got some strike throughs, some drop shadows. I don't know, I went all out on this one by accident. I will say that these are not super eco-friendly because there's a lot of wasted paper on either side. So this is probably not the brand that I would want to use. This is a Brother label maker, but maybe there are others that waste less. Or I guess you could just know ahead of time you were going to print a bunch of them and then make them all on one sheet so you don't have to cut off because the machine cuts it off for you pretty wide. But these are examples, and I did a couple different ways. I did it with the actual date, and then I did it with just the numbers like my other journal, and this is the one that I'll probably try out sticking in my book. There is no way I am forgetting this date now. This is also a nice way that if you have a hardcover back spine, this one wouldn't work so well because it's a bit shiny, but you could label the back of your book, or you could even label the front so that you had a journal memory that this was 2021, for example, if I cut off the others, and you could have it be a reminder of like which date. So say this journal lasted me until June, I could have it from January till June. There are lots of different ways that a label maker can help you. And once you have a library of your own journals, it is nice to have the option of it either down the side or on the front, so when you pick them up, it's really easy to identify when they came from. The last way, the 5th way of numbering your journals that I'm going to show you is a method that's really old school. I don't know what happened to it because it's really, really cool, but it's called Letraset. You can find these on Etsy or other online print shop stores. And they send you these amazing old sheets that have just tons of letters that scratch off directly onto whatever page that you're using. They come in a bunch of different fonts. The one I ordered was a pack of 3 randomized. Oh, that sound of paper is so satisfying. Every sheet comes with a nice protective, non-porous sheet of paper behind it so that none of the ink rubs off unintentionally onto the back. This is going to be page 16, so I'm going to line up the number 6 right in the corner, start scratching. And this way there's also no questioning which ones you've already used. But I'm just going to make sure that I get over every bit of this paper so I don't leave any part behind. And then I'm excited to lift it off. Look how cool! There are a couple places where you see that I didn't scratch hard enough, but otherwise it left a really nice dark ink. It's got a nice shine to it too, don't know if you can see it. And it looks like it came out of a printer. So I'm going to take this again, and really easy because it's clear, I can line it up and make sure that it's right in line with the number 6. And then I'm just going to start scratching. And the big reveal. It sticks a bit more than I thought it would. Yay! Again, super nice lines, nice shine, ink like it's out of a printer. That's so exciting. This is a really chunky one, but again, there are so many other fonts to choose from, and I'll put a link in the description of where you can find these. Honestly, it opened my eyes. They're pretty addictive, and I'm excited to keep seeing what else I can use them for. Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming out to my YouTube channel. I hope that was helpful. Please hit me in the comment section below if you would like me to make a video just on lino cutting or making stamps. And then follow me on Instagram and hit me with any questions, comments, or topics you think I should cover in the future. If this was at all helpful for you, I would love if you would hit like and subscribe so I can keep on getting out my journaling tips to the world. And thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.